income for the state comes 60% from sales tax. And you're talking about how Wyoming has a lot of revenue from all their natural resources.
Right.
Well, I looked it up, and we have the same sales tax rate as Wyoming. If we get 60% of our income from our income or our state sales tax, why don't we up our sales tax instead of having it the same as Wyoming, who has all the other natural resources that they can use for it, and put it towards our education?
Well, that's the same philosophical debate that Senator Roden says. If we raise taxes, it would raise revenue, but it's going to be at the expense of maybe bringing in business or other aspects of state government. And so that is the discussion. Whether you want to raise taxes and make South Dakota less inviting to Senator Roden, if I might. He talked about South Dakota being ranked #1 in being business friendly. I got a publication yesterday having to do with budget news and it compared the states. The Heartland Institute compared the states for the amount of debt per citizen that each state has, and we are one of the 5 sunshine states, they said, because we are very little debt, and compared to the lowest 5, the top 4 states were Wyoming, North Dakota, Utah, and Nebraska. We were number 5. Those top 4 did not have any debt in their state. They had everything covered. We have $3,000 per citizen of state debt. The bottom 5, I think the worst one in the country is Connecticut. They have $41,000 worth of state debt per individual, per citizen. So we are doing some things right from a fiscal standpoint, and that's probably the reason that we probably don't give more to education, because we don't want to go further in debt, or we don't want to raise taxes. Here again, this is a philosophical debate that we have across the state, and it needs to be addressed. But that's kind of where we are now, and that's I think we're doing some things very right from a fiscal standpoint. We're probably not meeting the needs of education as much as we would like to, or the Medicaid providers, the nursing homes, and so on, which are two huge areas for general funds.
Yeah.
Follow-up question.
But North Dakota has a 5% state tax, and Nebraska has a 5.5. Even if we raised it by 0.5%, wouldn't that help go towards our education? You're talking about how those guys are all the sunshine states. We have a lower tax than all of them. We'd still probably be a sunshine state if we upped it by 0.5% to put towards our education, which would also put towards having the great amount of workforce that would attract businesses to come into the state. We have a fantastic amount of schools in the state. We have School of Mines, which is top ranked. We have BH, and we have USD and SDSU. But if we don't educate them at the start, we won't have the kids to send them to those colleges.
I agree. I'm not for raising taxes. She's not running for district.
You know what? This is an example of the great school district that we have here in Belleville.
That's right.
Well, you have good questions, and it comes down to philosophical, whether you want to raise revenue or if you want to cut expenses, or what you want to do as far as those. And it's a broad brush that we.
And that comes to the elephant in the room, is the 1 cent sales tax that's going to be on the ballot in November.
We'll find out this fall how the state feels about that.
So it is in place.
Right. Paul, you have a